donor manager from the Singapore Red Cross Blood Donor Program to be here to share with us about the important information about blood donation, as well as what's the blood donation process going to be like and how blood's actually been processed after it's been collected. All right.
Hi, a very good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle, and I'm from Singapore Red Cross. I'm the blood donor manager here. Thank you so much for joining us for this session. So for this session, I will actually share with you for the importance of blood donation, and hopefully you all will be able to learn something and take away from this session. Okay, without further ado, I will start the session. Okay, so what is blood donation? So blood donation is where someone actually voluntarily gives their blood, and this blood will be actually used for blood transfusion. And why should I donate? So blood cannot be blood cannot be manufactured, and blood is actually needed to save lives in times of need and to sustain the lives of others who actually will need the blood in order to continue to live. So there are some people who actually have like medical conditions such as cancer, bleeding disorder, or they actually undergo surgeries or accident, and therefore this is where your blood will actually be used. And for many patients, blood donors are actually their lifelines. Okay, so what is the National Blood Program? So for National Blood Program, so Singapore Red Cross, together with the Health Science Authority Blood Service Group, we actually was appointed as the national recruiter in 2001. For Singapore Red Cross, we are basically the marketing arm, where we actually help to recruit, retain donors, and also to show appreciation to donors and recognize them through, like, for example, the World Blood Donor Day and so on. So we will actually work with many other organizers such as school, corporate, and then community club, religious, and all this, where we actually seek for partnership to actually get them to actually do like a mobile blood drive out of the blood bank so that to make blood donation more convenient for donors. The Health Science Authority will actually be the one who will do more on the medical procedures. They will be the one to provide the staff to actually do the blood collection, processing, testing, and inventory, and also for the pre-transfusion testing, where they will actually issue to the patients. Thus, in this program, we will actually work together in order to ensure that there will be a sufficient blood supply for all patients in need, regardless of their race and nationality. So we also, apart from that, this is where our blood banks are actually located. We have blood banks at HSA, Dhoby Ghaut, and Woodlands and Westgate. Just for information, we will also be opening up a new blood bank. It will be located in Punggol, likely to open by next year, around Q3. Yeah. So other than these four blood the banks that is actually located island-wide, we also do community drives where we will actually work with partners to bring the entire mobile setup to the premises, so that we can make it more convenient for the donors. Okay, so do anybody know, want to make a guess what's the meaning of 100 VNRBD? So VNRBD, it means that we advocate for 100% voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation. This is because we want to ensure that there is actually for the donors and also for the blood safety for those that are going to receive it. So the donors will actually voluntarily donate their blood without expecting to receive like any monetary reward. So for example, if I were to give you $50 for your bag of blood, there might be this like many people might not be actually answering all the questionnaires very truthfully, and this will actually lead to it will affect the blood safety because the donors did not do that declaration as honestly, and it might actually jeopardize like the patients that's going to receive it. And also they will actually waste the resources because for blood collection, and there's a lot of testing that will be that be done, and there's also like added risk to the blood transfusion to the patients in need. So that's therefore we do not actually pay for your blood, and it's actually purely 100% voluntary. And this is actually the same as a standard by World Health Organization. Okay, so this is the big blood picture that we have in year 2021. As you can see, we only, for the entire population in Singapore, we have 1.73% of people donating. And in total, we have 669,000 over donated. And in 2021, we have about 114,000 collected. This is never enough, and we actually need more blood donors to actually step forward, and also we need more regular donors to actually come forward to actually donate more regularly. Okay, so why do we need more blood? Because there's, as you can see in the previous slide, we only have 1.73% donating, and it's never enough. We are also constantly building like more new hospitals and all, and year by year donors, there's some older donors will not be able to continue to donate, and every day we require 400 bags of blood. Therefore, we also need to maintain at least 6 to 7 days blood inventory in order to meet any like medical or civil emergency in Singapore. So that's the reason why we need to have more blood donors to come forward. Okay, so when everybody when we think of blood, we will usually think of accident, right? But that's not the case. That's the misconception. For blood, right, it will actually be used in generally in surgeries such as like heart surgery, in general medicine, or people who actually have blood diseases. This is where your blood will come in, and only about 6% will actually be used for accidents and emergency. Okay, so is there like any particular blood type that that we need, or any or so? There is actually no particular blood type that we definitely require. All blood types are actually important. So but based on the general population, most of us actually have like the O blood. So that's why you can see based on 2021, we have quite a lot of donors who actually have O blood type, and those with blood group O, right, can only receive like O blood type, and O group is actually highest usage in hospital. Okay, so I want to donate blood, but how much is taken? So for blood donation, we normally take about 350 to 450 ml. It's also depending on your weight. So for example, if you weigh 300 and for example, if you weigh 45 kg, you will actually take about 350 ml. And if you weigh 50 kg and above, then we will take about 450 ml. And this will actually it will be about 8 to 12% of your entire total blood volume. And as long as after you donate, you actually have to replenish within as much water. And then in terms of the volume, it will actually be replaced within 72 hours, about 3 days. And these are misconceptions where like giving blood will not harm your body, and it also will not weaken your immune system. Okay, so do you know that your 1 bag of blood can actually save 3 lives? And for this whole blood bag, so this picture that you're seeing right now, right? Every time a blood donor can donate, there will be like a 12 weeks interval. So you can donate blood every 12 weeks for whole blood donation. Okay, so anybody knows like why do we say that one whole bag of blood can save 3 lives? So that's the reason. So the blood is actually used, it will be separated into 3 different components. So we have the red blood cells, the platelets, and the plasma. So these 3 different components actually have 3 different usage and will be used for different type of patients who require it for different purposes. So for the red blood cells, the shelf life will be about 42 days, and it's used to actually replace for red cells loss that is through accident, surgery, or childbirth, where for example the pregnant woman is actually like bleeding a lot when during her delivery of the child. And for platelets, it will actually the shelf life is only 7 days, and it's actually used to treat patients with leukemia, cancer, and dengue. And for plasma itself, once frozen, it can be actually kept for 1 year. It's normally commonly used to treat burns. So that's the reason why we say like 1 bag of blood save 3 lives. Okay. All right. So you see this image, right? So like I think everyone is waiting for the next public holiday, am I right? But do you know like whenever there is a long weekends and so our blood stock will actually dip? Yeah. So we usually can actually meet the minimum required stock most of the time, but there are certain periods where we will see there's the dip in blood stock. That will be like when students go for their exam period where they are usually busy, and then festive periods, like as mentioned, this is where like the donors might be traveling, so therefore the blood stock will actually dip. And also the blood stock will dip when there is high demand from hospital. All right, so let's go into like if let's say I want to donate blood, this is my first time donating, like what are the criteria for blood donation? Okay, so first of all, you have to be aged between 16 and 60 years old. You can actually for donors for age 16 and 17, we actually have like a parental guardian consent form where you can actually fill up, and then you can actually download it, print it, and then get your guardian or parents to fill it up, and then you can bring the signed original copy to bring it to the blood bank or the community drives. And most minimum, you will have to weigh about 45 kg, and be in general good health. And you should not have any symptoms of infection such as sore throat, cough, running nose, diarrhea, or for at least 1 week. And also blood donation is quite stringent. So if you have fever over the last 4 weeks, so you can only donate once after that, once you're well. And also have not taken any like medication, herbal supplements, or traditional like TCM medicine for at least 3 days. And if you have taken like antibiotics, you can wait for at least 1 week. And also we will do like a finger prick test to check whether you have passed like the hemoglobin or blood iron tests. Okay, so apart from that, right? So now the school holidays and all, if you want to do your blood donation, you also have to ensure that you did not travel to malaria endemic areas such as like Batam, Bintan, India, and Myanmar over the past 4 months. But for example, if you went to Batam or Bintan just for a day trip, you did not stay over, you are able to donate. But let's say if you went to India for holidays and then you come back and you want to donate, then you will not be able to donate, because you will only be able to donate like 4 months from the date of return. All right, so we actually do like a hemoglobin test. So this what's the reason for this? So we actually need to check your iron, because iron helps your body to regenerate like new blood cells. So if you donate blood when you have low blood iron, you actually feel tired and giddy. So that's why in order to prevent that, we will actually do like a finger prick test to ensure that you have met the minimum hemoglobin requirement. For female, it will be 12.5 grams per deciliter, and for males will be 13 grams per deciliter. you can actually, while in preparation for your blood donation, you can actually consume like high iron diet, such as having like dark leafy vegetables like kangkong, chai sim, spinach, and seaweed. Or you can, if you consume meat, then you can take like seafood, dried nuts, beef, mutton, and all. And fruits, dried fruits such as like apricot, longan, and raisin, and all this will actually help. Okay. Okay, so who needs your blood? So anyone from young to old actually needs blood. So like what we shared earlier, that different blood components actually have like different usage. So different medical condition will also have require different bags of blood. So in this diagram here, you have seen that these are some of our blood beneficiaries. Like for Oliver, he have actually received like 15 bags of blood for transfusion. For Serene, she received like 15 bags and so on. So these are like different patients, like thalassemia patients. They will actually require regular blood transfusion for every like 2 to 4 weeks. For cancer patient, then they also require regular transfusion during their treatment. And those that are doing like general surgery, like liver transplant or heart surgery and all, this is where your blood is actually being used. All right, so okay, so what happens during blood donation process? So for blood donation process, it takes about 45 to 1 hour. This is from start to end. But for the actual donation, it only takes about 10 to 20 minutes when you are on the bed doing the. So we also advise for you to actually drink plenty of water, because this will actually help in terms of your blood flow. So these are the first steps. We will actually go like form filling and registration. Then we'll check your iron test, and we also will weigh you, because this will determine like how much blood we will take from you. And then we have like a medical screener, where the medical screener will actually go through the questions. And let's say if you have any questions, you can actually check with the medical screener. And medical screener will actually take your temperature, your blood pressure, to ensure that you're safe to fit for donation. And next, then you will proceed to the donation, and then rest and refreshment. All right, now I will just proceed to show you a blood donation process clip. Just a moment.
Hello, I'm Emma, an intern of the Singapore Red Cross.
Hi, I'm Aim. I'm Emma's friend, and we're here as first-time blood donors, and we're so excited to share our blood journey with you guys today.
Before heading down to make your donation, it's recommended that you visit HSA's website to take an eligibility quiz. Check out HSA's website for more information. The link is in the description below. Let's go! Yay!
At the pre-registration counter, your temperature is taken and you will be asked to fill out a COVID questionnaire. Here's the first step of your blood donation journey. If you have booked an appointment through the Donate Blood app and completed the medical questionnaire online, you don't have to fill out the questionnaire on site and can proceed straight to the registration counter. Did you know that you can donate blood once you turn 16? Remember to bring along a photo ID and a signed parental consent form if you are aged 17 and below. I'm given a first-time donor sticker, and I hope that the nurses will be extra gentle with me. Now, onto the blood testing area. So this is the blood testing area where they check your weight and your hemoglobin levels. I put in a lot of effort to ensure that my hemoglobin levels will be sufficiently high this time. Fingers crossed! To avoid making an unnecessary trip down, I suggest doing some pre-donation prep work starting a week before your donation. This includes drinking plenty of water, getting sufficient rest, eating plenty of iron-rich food, and taking your iron tablets. Most importantly, ensure that you do not donate blood on an empty stomach. The prick test was rather daunting the first time I did it, but it does not hurt at all and feels like an ant bite. If your hemoglobin levels are too low on your day of donation, fret not. The blood bank has resources such as meal recipes and a list of iron-rich foods for you to consume before your next donation. Your privacy in the medical screening room is ensured when the doctor interviews you as an added precaution to ensure that your blood is safe for use. Once you've been certified to be eligible to donate blood, head over to the donation room. While the nurse is getting ready, you will be asked to continually squeeze a stress ball during your donation to increase blood flow. Following which, a local anesthetic will be injected to ensure that you feel minimal pain during the donation. While I did feel the insertion of the anesthesia needle, I honestly found it less painful than a regular vaccine. After the anesthesia injection, 5 minutes is required for the anesthetic to take effect before you begin the drawing of blood. It's happening! The blood donation needle looks rather daunting, but you will honestly not feel the slightest bit of pain thanks to the anesthesia applied. Now that's one common misconception about blood donation busted. Continually squeeze the stress ball to ensure that blood flow is consistent and blood clots do not form. Now that the blood has been drawn, bandaging starts. Remember to hashtag BandageHeroes and tag BB at HeyBloodBuddy when you share this with your friends on social media. The bandage is pretty cool and matches my outfit. It feels a bit like a badge of honor. And ensure that you leave your bandage on for at least 4 hours. After the bandaging is done, you will remain seated another 3 minutes to ensure that all is well. Remember to slowly stand up after. I've just completed my donation, and at HSA, you get to redeem a food and drink item from the Platelet Cafe.
Thanks for accompanying me to donate blood today. The process was so smooth from start to finish.
You're welcome, Emma. I can't wait to plan our next donation in the next 3 months.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Michelle, thanks for sharing just now. That video is really engaging, and it's like the first time experience. I could still recall back the first time that I went by to donate blood as well. Yeah, it's also very nervous and not knowing what to do. So if anyone of you have not donated blood before, later on we'll also be sharing where you could actually go by to donate blood and to take out the first step that you actually have. So Michelle is right now preparing for the next video to share with you as well.
Hi, this is Jessie. Welcome to the Blood Component Processing Lab. Let me bring you through a series of processes that donation blood will go through before they are safe to help a patient.
After the donation is completed, the whole blood units arrive at the Blood Component Processing Lab. They'll be packed in buckets, spun in centrifuges to separate the whole blood units into 3 distinct layers. After this, the blood will be transferred to blood component extractors to be separated into 3 different components, namely red cells, platelets, and plasma. Each of these components is being used to treat patients with a different medical condition. They are then kept on hold in proper storage conditions until testing is completed. Red cells are stored at refrigerated conditions, platelets at room temperature, and plasma is kept frozen. Meanwhile, in the blood donation testing lab, all blood units undergo stringent testing to ensure that they are safe for transfusion to patients. Firstly, blood group testing is performed to determine the donor's blood type, which is the ABO group, as well as the rhesus type, that is whether it is positive or negative. During this testing, screening for the presence of unexpected red cell antibodies is also necessary, as these antibodies may cause adverse reactions in the blood recipient during transfusion. Secondly, all blood units are subjected to mandatory infectious disease testing. The blood samples are loaded onto automated test analyzers to be screened for pathogens such as HIV, hepatitis B virus, hepatitis C virus, hepatitis E virus, syphilis, and bacterial contamination testing for all platelet units. Besides infectious disease testing, malaria testing will also be done for selected at-risk donors who have travel history or have resided in a malaria endemic area. For donations that are tested reactive to any of the viruses mentioned, they are classified as unsafe for transfusion and will be discarded. For the rest of the donations that are safe for use, they will undergo electronic labeling and will be placed in their proper storage conditions. Upon request, The blood units will be packed and dispatched to the various hospitals for use.
Yes, and just to add on, earlier on is the processing of blood collected, because sometimes people feel that it's like almost immediate, like immediately the blood is collected, could just immediately transfuse it. So right now we are going to share with you who are the beneficiary and actually who benefits from the blood donated as well.
Yes, thank you. So for this, now I'm actually sharing with you Oliver Hanson's story. So just a moment.
Oliver was only 580 grams when he was born. So an average baby is 3 to 4 kilo. When I went into the NICU and I saw him for the first time, I almost fainted. I was told that I had preeclampsia by the time I was 20 weeks pregnant with Oliver. They said that he had stopped growing at 22 weeks. Honestly, the prognosis for Oliver at that time was not very good. The possibility of him being paraplegic was there, so it was a very difficult decision for us. How do we say, don't save my son, but then how do we then destine a child to live a life of severe disability? Right? It was really very difficult because it was our decision to have a child that caused all this suffering, right? That kind of thought, of course, filled you up with extreme guilt. I couldn't believe that he would survive because he was that tiny. Oliver spent a total of about 7 months in the ICU. Every morning they had to test him for his blood oxygen. And every time he takes his blood, right, he will look deathly pale. So he constantly need blood transfusion. In total, I think he had like more than 15 times. Because of the intubations, he cried, but there's no sound. You don't know the extent of pain they're going through. Oliver was only extubated when he was 4 months old. Wow, that day was incredible because it was the first time we could touch him and carry him. We've always said that Oliver is this really stubborn boy, and that stubbornness has helped him through all this almost insurmountable pain. If he's fighting so hard to live, we have to ensure that, we are there for him as well. Oliver just turned 6. He's an interesting character. He likes strange things. He likes CNN and CNA. We watch it quite often at home. Who is this? Anderson Cooper. Yes. Oliver is very affectionate and he is very smiley. A very, very happy boy. Can you spell door? With his developmental delay, we understand that for sure he will need time to grow. My daughter Emma is so much more physical with him. Having Oliver in our lives, right, has added this extra facet to the role that Emma has. To see her so loving towards him always fills us with a lot of joy.
I really enjoy seeing him do little stuff like eating. I think it's very, very cute. His hands are so tiny, and then when he does things like an adult also. It's like watching a doll in real life.
Even in the toughest of time, we have only met with kindness. The doctors, the nurses, my helper, everybody has stepped up and helped us with raising this boy. This whole experience with her brother, she has expressed to me her wanting to become a regular blood donor.
I just saw my brother, and I see the doctors working so hard to try and help him. I feel like I want to be able to contribute and help out other babies that can have in a similar situation as my brother. Because I'm capable of doing it.
Honestly, without the blood transfusion, Oliver wouldn't be alive today. So that's why it is so critical, all these little procedures that go behind the scene, that we don't know about. So we need regular donors.
I'm very proud of how far he's coming. I think my brother has taught me also to take things one at a time, see how things go, and then continue on from there.
We used to joke, right? How many babies can say that they have grown 10 times their weight, when they're 1, right? Yeah, every milestone has been so almost insurmountable, but he has done that. Who is this?
Mama,
And
I am my mommy.
we love you. Mwah.
Michelle, thanks for sharing the video. It's really very touching, and having to know that the blood donator actually helped to save lives, and it's actually used in situation that we may not be fully aware of, and even like a childbirth would actually requires that blood transfusion and giving that life to baby and the mother as well.
Yes. So I mean, Olivia is really a brave boy, but then we will thank all the donors for actually stepping up so that he can continue to live healthily. And so okay, now we so since we went through all this videos and all, and beneficiaries who actually need blood in order to continue to survive, then we will actually go through some myths and debunk them. So okay, so myth number 1. So blood donation is time consuming. Actually, the entire process, though it take about 45 to an hour, that is you can actually make an appointment to save some time. And let's say if you go to the blood bank at the 4 locations that I was mentioned, which is at Health Science Authority or Woodland Blood Bank, Westgate, or at Dhoby Ghaut, if you make an appointment beforehand, you can actually fill out the questionnaire form. So that will actually can help you save some time. So the nurses can actually print out for you. Just book an appointment before that. And by then, when you're on the bed, the actual process is only about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so let's go to the myth number 2. So for blood donation, right, it's different from blood tests. For blood donation, you actually need to actually eat and also to well hydrate before you donate blood. So you can have some light snack or something, and rest well the day before you donate blood. Okay, and we will actually provide the isotonic drink. So I do encourage all donors to actually drink up, because that will actually help to well hydrate, and your blood flow will be better when you are on the donation bed donating blood. And okay, myth number 3, which is you can't donate bloods if you have tattoo. That is not true. You can actually continue to donate blood as long as the sterile or disposable needles were actually used. Otherwise, if not, you have to wait for about 12 months after to donate blood. And actually, in fact, I do have quite a number of donors that do have a lot of tattoo, but they are able to donate. So hope that this myth will actually be busted. And the last one is blood donation hurts. So actually, in fact, in my own opinion, even though I'm like a blood donation manager, I actually find that like paper cut or actually when they do like the needle prick test, right, at the blood station, I find that actually more painful as compared to like the when they do the needling. But that is of course like we are quite lucky that in Singapore context we do have like anesthesia that will actually last throughout the entire donation. So not to worry about that. And also our nurses are also very trained to assist you. And especially if you are like first-time donors, we'll be actually given like a first-time donor sticker, and then we'll definitely take extra gentle care with you. Yeah, but if let's say you are a regular donor and you still and you also like you can also have that sticker, and then we will be extra gentle with you too. Okay, so there's some other myths that I find it quite important to also share with you guys. So let's say some of the myth is like, if I donate blood, I will not have enough. That is false, because in terms of your entire volume, entire blood supply within your body, we only take about 8 to 12% of it. And as long as you drink up, and then drink up as much as possible after your blood donation, then the volume will actually be replaced in like 72 hours or 3 days. So after blood donation, please, especially if it's your first time, just have a rest, about 5 to 10 minutes, sit down and enjoy the snacks that we provide, like Milo, apple juice, or biscuits. Just have a rest first before you go off. Okay, then the next myth is like there are enough donors and I don't really need to donate. However, I have shown you like the blood statistics, right? For 2021, we only have about 69k donors, which is about 1.73% of the entire population donating blood. That's not enough, and we will actually need more and more blood every year. More donors will not be able to donate due to medical condition, or they started to take like medication and so on. So this is why we need more donors like yourself to actually step forward to try to start your donation journey. Okay, so blood donation is troublesome and very inconvenient. So like I mentioned to you, we do have like 4 blood banks. The 5th one is coming up at Punggol by next year. And we also do have like community drives. So we can share with you a link where you can actually check where to donate. So we, us as donor managers, we will actually try to partner with like schools and also like community centers to bring this blood drive close to your home, so that you'll be able to actually go down to these places to do your blood donation when you are due for blood donation. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, so this myth is like, I need to go on a special diet before I can donate. You don't really need to go for a special diet, but you just need to have like a balanced one. A high iron diet will actually help in terms of your blood donation. And lastly, my blood is sold for profit. No, that is not true. We do not sell your blood for profit. Yeah, it's just that the patients, they will actually just pay for the processing fee and testing before the transfusion, and this will actually be subsidized by the government. And so that's for Singaporeans. Yeah. All right, so how can you help? So besides stepping up to be like a donor, you can, if you are currently already a donor, do step forward to donate regularly. So 1 year, a donor can actually donate up to 4 times a year. And let's say you're a first-time donor, you can also just let our staff know. Once you pass all the general eligibility, just have a take a iron tablets and have a rich have a good iron rich diet, and then you can proceed for your blood donation. Yeah, but what in the case that I tried to donate but I'm unable to? fret not. You can also be our blood advocate. You can also, with this presentation that I have given you, I hope that you have learned some facts, and you can share with your friends or family, let them know the importance of blood donation. And let's say if you're unable to donate, you still can help us by letting other people know that blood donation is important. And if you are able to donate, do donate regularly. All right. So if you would like to find out more information about blood donation, we do have our website, which will be like giveblood.sg. Alternatively, we do have if you have Instagram, you actually can follow us on Instagram at HeyBloodBuddy. HeyBloodBuddy, he will actually Blood Buddy is actually our mascot. I find him quite cute, and then he actually will dish out some interesting facts. So do follow him if you are actually you would like to learn more. Okay.
Thank you, Michelle, for that great talk. So we have received a couple of questions in the chat box as well. So one of it was Cheng Hong checking in about COVID. If you have been tested positive, can you still donate blood? And then there's also another additional question from Esther, just to add on. If a donor is COVID positive but asymptomatic, then how will the blood bank then ensure that the blood is safe for transfusion? So there's one about if they are positive, are they able to donate blood? Then the other is more of blood safety issue.
So for donors who actually have diagnosed with COVID-19 before, as long as you can actually donate 28 days after your first positive PCR or ART result. And we count the day one as the date where you actually perform the test. So this is to ensure the donors have fully recovered and fit for donation before you can proceed for the blood donation. So that means if you have COVID-19 already, you can only donate 28 days after your first positive test.
And what if donor is actually asymptomatic, so they wasn't aware that they are actually COVID positive and they went by to donate blood? So how do actually the blood bank ensure that the blood is safe for transfusion?
Okay, with regards to this, right, they will actually do regular testing. And let's say if you found out that you are actually COVID positive, please, we have a hotline that you can actually call into to actually let the blood bank know. Then they will actually ask you some questions, and then they will actually after get out your bag to remove it before it's being transfused to the patients. So apart from our regular testings, donors themselves also, if they know that they donated blood and then they found out that they are positive, then please call to the blood bank as soon as possible. There will actually be a hotline.
Oh, that's great to know. So although we may not be aware of, but the blood bank will still conduct the regular testing to ensure the blood safety for transfusion as well.
Yes. Apart from that, we also do other testings. Yes.
Okay, so the other question is actually more on hemoglobin level. So they were checking in why do male have a higher level of hemoglobin level compared to female? And if for male wise, if they are above 12.5 instead of 13, can they still actually donate blood?
Okay, so based on the WHO standards, right? For blood, the reason why we actually set it to be higher, okay, first of all, for male, right, they generally have a higher level of irons, because for female, we will actually go through our monthly menstruation, and which will actually result in loss of iron and so on. So, and men usually have a higher level. That's why we will actually set a higher cutoff level for the so that when you do your blood donation, you will actually not become anemic due to that. So that's the reason why male will be set higher than that. And if you are male and you have 12.5, right, you will not be able to donate blood at that point when you do the finger prick test. You need to have 13 or more in order to proceed with the blood donation. Yes.
Okay, so besides taking care of the blood safety, the blood bank take care of the donor safety as well in the process of blood donation.
Yes, correct. Because we do not want, in a case, right, if your level is lower than the standard, you might end up become anemic Yeah, meaning because your iron level is actually not the optimum, then we go and take your blood, right? Then you will actually end up anemic. So apart from getting safe blood to be given to the patient in transfusion, we also is very stringent to ensure that the donors do not jeopardize their own safety just in order to donate blood. We want to ensure the donors themselves are safe to donate blood. And if let's say we deem that you're not suitable to donate today, then we will actually let them know.
Thank you so much. So Fatana also check in if does she needs to take in iron supplement the moment she finds out that her hemoglobin test does not hit the minimal.
Okay, so Fatana, maybe what you can do, right? If let's say you are planning to do for a blood donation, so maybe 1 to 2 weeks before that, you can actually consume like a high iron diet and actually take the iron tablets. Iron tablets will actually help, but don't take it every day. If not, you might have constipation. So maybe every alternate days, and then have a high iron diet. Consume your dark leafy vegetable, dry nuts, and then meat if you are, and then also like try to avoid coffee and tea. So I think like not everyone knows that, but coffee and tea will actually reduce iron. So try to take like vitamin C's and because it will actually help in your iron absorption. And yes, it's only at that point of time when you do the finger prick test, then we will be able to know or not whether your iron level pass or fail. And just to share, even for myself, like as a donor managers, like even myself I also fail sometimes. I'm unable to meet the 12.5. So I hope you won't give up. There are certain periods, for example, if let's say your iron level is just only like 0.1 or 2. Then you can actually use the iron tablet that they so we will actually give the iron tablet to donors, so you can consume the iron tablet. Then maybe you can based on what the nurses tell you when you can come back to donate, then you can consume the iron tablet and come back to donate again. Yeah. All right.
Yes, I do have that experience as well, being rejected due to low hemo for a long period of time.
Yeah, so I do understand like you feel dejected and all. So I just want to share it's normal. Even myself, I also face that. But don't give up. Yeah, definitely don't give up. I do have some donors. They are really determined, and they say every time I want to blood donate, I will tweak my diet. To ensure that is like the most optimal. Like I will avoid coffee and tea, and then I will take all my iron pills and consume extremely all the dark leafy vegetables and all, and it helps. And maybe just to share, maybe you can actually try to avoid taking like a high fat diet, for example fried chicken or anything, because that might affect a bit. But then generally have like just like eat regularly, but maybe just increase your intake on the iron, then that will help.
So I guess I know why because of low iron. But there's someone who's checking in like at which level of hemoglobin level then would one be considered as anemic?
Okay. Thanks for the question. For this one, right, it's actually more like a medical question, so I won't be able to answer to this question, because apart from that, right, there's also many other conditions that we need to check with you. Because is there any other underlying medical conditions that when the doctors actually go through, they will check with you, and then and also like but generally, if let's say like your iron level is like really very low, then we won't actually let you proceed to donate blood. But in terms of like which level then is anemic, this is actually not disclosed. Like it will actually it will really be shared by the nursing team and so on. So I wouldn't be able to answer this question at this moment. Yeah, but thank you for the question.
Thank you so much. So, so earlier on, you were also sharing that if you're not able to donate blood or you're ineligible, you could also still be our ambassador. So, actually, attendees who are actually curious or interested to find out more, if they actually like to sign up as a blood ambassador, or if they like to promote about blood, how could they actually go about doing it, or how can they actually sign up to join as a blood ambassador?
Oh, okay. Maybe what you can do is y'all can actually join us So you can actually join us to be like a Red Cross volunteer. Then we actually will come out to actually do up drives, like mobile drives and all. Then this is where you can actually spend the time with us to actually come up for a drive to help out in the mobile drive operations. But because currently as of now we still have quite a lot of number of activities that are actually still on hold. So you can actually drop us a email, and then we can contact you, and then once our activity is up, then we can actually engage you, and then you can help out for our events. Yeah, but I think as of now, while our events are still slowly resuming, what you can do is you can actually share with your friends and your family member. Hey, I actually today I learned so much about blood donation. Then actually, do you know that the blood donation, there's actually a shelf life, and you can actually your blood can actually save so many people's life, and so on and so forth. Like being advocate to tell people the importance of blood is actually as good as giving blood, because you actually help to influence people, where people might not think like blood donation is a priority, but probably from yourself, when you share, then they'll be intrigued, and then they'll like, oh, that's interesting, I've never tried blood donation, maybe I should try. So this is a form of way that you are helping also, even though if you are unable to donate. Yes.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for the sharing, and letting us have more insight about blood donation. There is the World Blood Donor Day celebration in the month of June as well. I think World Blood Donor Day falls on the 14th of June, if I don't recall wrongly. So in celebration of World Blood Donor Day, PSB Academy is also advocating for blood donation, and we'd like us to actually donate blood together as a community. So you could actually visit any of the 4 blood banks that Michelle shared earlier on to donate your blood, and you could just give this code S0186 at the point of registration, and they will actually take it as a collection that is through the PSB Academy effort. So if you'd like to actually find out more information that Michelle has shared earlier on about the parental consent form, or be it like the criteria they need to take note of for blood donation, you could actually go to giveblood.sg, or alternatively later Michelle will actually drop in the link as well for you to actually download your consent form, or the link for you to find out more about blood donation and where you could actually go by to donate blood. And you could then actually join us in this act to be a hero as well, to actually help save life, like the mother during labor, or even thalassemia patient. And you could make your way to the blood bank during the month of June, book an appointment, and to donate the blood. But let's say if you are, we do have international students who's right now overseas, not to worry, you could also join us as well. You could donate blood in your home country. I mean, every country needs blood, so you could go by to your home country, but do find out a little bit more about the home country blood donation processes and their criteria, as each country may differ slightly. So do find out from our home country how you could actually go about to donate blood. Take a photo of you during blood donation, actually tag us. We would love to see it as well. So you can actually tag us at PSB Academy, or PSB Student Life, or PSBA X Blood Buddy, or if not, you could also tag Hey Blood Buddy as well. All right. With that, we actually like to thank Michelle from Singapore Red Cross Blood Donor Program to actually come by here to share with us, important information about blood donation and the importance of it as well. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank you. I hope you learned something.